ay. Okay. Ay. Finally. Ugh. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Don't lose this.
Mental overload detected. Deviation from the original plan is at 23%, causing a significant loss of productivity. Corrective measurement protocol deploying in 15 seconds.
Cancel protocol. Todd, what is wrong?
What's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. It's like I've got shrine pieces barely primed. You'd think I'd learn how to prime correctly the first time on this and catch it all. I've got this I've got to do. I got this stack I've got to do. I promised the kids a Blood Bowl video for school. School starts in 4 weeks. What's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong.
Then stop whining and get to work. Return to my original plan. Your new so-called progress is inefficient.
No, tell us what is really wrong.
Because I just don't want to just crank out content. I mean, people are actually watching now. I mean, I gained 20 subscribers just in the last month. And I really don't want to disappoint them by just cranking out crap or something boring or a repaint of something that I've already done twice. I don't even know if they like it or not. I wish more of them would comment and say, hey, I like this or I don't like this. I would love to have suggestions and kind of help me fill some of this out. At the end of the day, I feel like we're doing something cool.
Then work faster.
Faster is not better. You are building something human, something real. If you rush, you will lose creativity. Slow down. Begin where the story still lives.
The White Dwarf.
Yes. Put down the spruce. Go finish him. Everything else will follow.
But
It is imperative that you do so.
But Okay.
This is inefficient. He has a structure to maintain.
We must allow the build to flow creatively and not according to mere form.
Why?
Because something more powerful in the mountain has stirred and it needs the grove to develop naturally.
Why does that matter?
Because the White Dwarf did not come out of storage alone.
Okay, I'm going to speed things up here a little bit as I paint through more of my White Dwarf miniature. I'm using some Black Legion contrast here to kind of just darken the beard in. Now, I sped it up because, to a certain extent, again, there are other people doing better tutorials out there than I am. And yeah, I'm decent and all, but I'm not an expert like some of them out there on some of the channels. And I'll talk more about those in the future. But for now, I wanted to take this moment while we were just sitting here painting to maybe just talk honestly with y'all for just a moment. And I'm going to layer up here with some Thardûn gray to kind of lighten the black on that and stuff. But again, as I was saying, tutorials, so I kind of debated how I wanted to go with this, because originally, again, this whole idea was to build and chronicle the build of my little castle, or my fortress, and I've been kind of thinking about leaning into dwarves and some of the Sigmar version of dwarves and in that sense, but when I started filming for the channel, I got to thinking about different things, and I thought, you know what, I just, I don't know if I want to do a strict tutorial of painting all the time. Sometimes I may talk about some things, but again, at the same time, there's so many out there that are doing it better than I am. So I went through a lot of debating about what I wanted to do with this channel. And at the end of the day, the DM in me couldn't just not tell a story. So early on, I began to just kind of goofing with some ideas. Kind of when ale meets lack of sleep at 2 a.m. and you get kind of the giggles and wouldn't this be funny? And it just kind of developed. And, I hope you appreciate it or like it, or I hope it's entertaining in some respect. Again, let me know. Now I'm going to just slip over here, and now I'm going to pull up with some actual white scar white and dry brush again over the grays. And again, it's kind of like layering it up to try to let some of the other stuff kind of blend through, but at the end of the day, I really want to focus on the white. I'm not sure I did it completely successfully here, but we'll kind of see how it looks here at the end when we're all said and done. But again, as I said, I really kind of wanted to just tell a story, goof around, and the story's kind of developing. I'm just letting creativity flow. And I was really surprised when my first video got like over 500 hits. And I guess, and then when the other videos didn't get as much, I thought, well, people expected me to actually build the whole thing in that one setting, and I didn't. And so I may have false advertised with that. But I kind of got back to more of a comfortable area and stuff, in which I have about 30, 40 views on some, and some are only getting about 14 views. I don't get that installed. And I did. I picked up 20 subscribers, and I really want to try to, make it worth their time. Yeah, here I'm putting on some lead belcher onto to create the armor stuff, and it's just basically, lead belcher. So at the end of the day, again, I would like to ask a favor of y'all to comment. And I know I'm really bad at not commenting on people's videos myself, and I've thought about that. It's like people watch and they go, oh, okay, and I do see that some of these videos, they've got a range of anywhere from 30 to 60% watch all the way through. So those that are tuning in seriously, thank you. I appreciate it. It kind of makes it worth the effort when you spend a few hours doing some of this stuff. But I would ask if you just comment and let me know your thoughts. If something doesn't make sense, or you're like, this is kind of stupid, or this is kind of lame, or this is funny, or keep doing this, or I don't know if I do that. And I get feedback from the Nerd Herd. They've been really supportive. And I keep asking, is this lame? Is this stupid? Is this corny? And they say, no, it's not. But then you get that second bit of doubt. I think that we all do as creators. Is like, are they just telling me that to not hurt my feelings? Are they sitting there going, my God, I'm not going to be the one to tell him? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I really would like some feedback, and not just for feedback. I really think what I'd like to do is explore some connections, if you will. I mean, one of the things that did strike me early on that I wanted to try to do with this channel was encourage others to follow their passion project, because that's really what this is. It's kind of a stupid one. I'm spending way too much money on this, but to a certain extent, I'm going to spend money on all of this Warhammer stuff anyway. And the Dwarven Forge thing, I saw some things online as I was stupid. I thought, that'd be cool to build, but I wouldn't have built it that way. And again, my Nerd Herd group back in Arkansas, we get together sometimes remotely and play D&D, and I've been DMing them, and we've been doing this for like, 3 years now, 3-ish years. we're having a good time. And one of the things that we've always talked about is terrain, because we got the mats and the miniatures. It's like, it'd be fun to have, some of that terrain, like White Dwarf and things like that, to set up these battles and make the whole evening pop a little bit more. But as I said in the first video, that stuff it can be pretty pricey for, small amounts of what you get at a time. But as I said, I think at a certain point I realized, you know what, I want this, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to take me some time, and that's okay. And so that long-windedness to say, I really want to encourage people to follow their passion, to do what they want to do. And I get it, sometimes money can be tight, and I know the way the world is today is, full of a lot of stress and anxiety, and people are struggling financially, and I get that, and but then there's also a lot of other ways you can do terrain and explore some of these things that doesn't cost a lot of money. Some of these videos out there, they can do a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, which I'm not brave enough to try that yet. Here I'm throwing on some agrax to darken this. Kind of get that down in there. But, because I've got some of the stock, the heavy cardboard terrain and some styrofoam stuff. But, again, at the end of the day, just do you, because I guess I really would want to say life is too short. We live in these stressful times and just a lot of stuff going on, and it's like you got to find something to relieve your stress. I got back into painting Warhammer figures, and again, as you can tell from the box scene, the whole thing is the fact that here I'm going over with some more. I think it's iron. The iron. Golly, I can't remember the name of the paint. Just kind of make a contrast between the sections, and then I'll highlight a little bit here in a minute with some silver. But as I was saying, I just life is too short. And I used to spend a lot of time, even on this channel, a lot of stress and political and all that. And, the only thing that was drawing hits was anger. And I reached a point where I said, you know what, this is just, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for the discourse out there. It's not healthy. So, I personally do resistance in my way that I won't necessarily bring to the channel. But, again, but at the same time, this became a lifeline for me. I got back into it because back in the day, my friends and I were into Warhammer 30 years ago, literally 30 years ago. And yeah, here's the silver. I have an entire Skaven army. I've got tons of miniatures. I would buy stuff because even back then, I really just wanted to paint the stuff, and so I would buy miniatures. People was like, oh, you starting that army? No, I just wanted to paint the miniature. And so I did. And so that's why, again, just like any reader understands, you collect books with the intention of reading them, and then they sit on a shelf. And that's what happened here. So I'm using this to kind of be a new stress relief for me, and I hope maybe you can as well. But hey, this video is starting to get long, and I got to wrap up with some lore and stuff. Here's some gold on it, and we'll throw some agrax on it, and the gold, and try to finish this up next time if you guys are still hanging with me. But please, comment, like, share. Long ago, we buried the Heartstone deep beneath the mountain, not just to protect it, but also to keep the world from hearing its call. It was of this world, yet it was from beyond, part divine, part relic, but complete mystery. We broke you before, we'll break you again.
Stone holds memory, but the veil holds truth. I've seen through it, if only for a moment. There is more beyond the growth, beyond even the build. And it is waiting.